going on, everybody? Stamp here. I'm going to show y'all for about 10 bucks how to eliminate all this and create a simple little bracket to hold your plate and everything. What you're going to need is a couple of these little angle brackets, these corner braces. You can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot. I think they're about $3 for the whole bag, $2.59 or $2.79, something like that. You're going to need some flat Phillips nuts, 10/24s, 3/4 inch long. And then you're not going to use the nuts they provide. You're actually going to buy some separate nylock nuts, because what you're going to do is this will actually be your tag bracket that's going to mount underneath there, and your plate's going to mount to here. Then you're going to use another side just like this. Let me hold it for you. You hold it just like that. Okay, so the top hole where this finger is here is going to mount to the bottom of the bike. Your plate is going to mount to the front facing us, and the side over here you're going to have to drill it out to a 3/8 inch hole, and that's where you're going to run your light through the side. You're going to run your light through the side of it. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. You can paint these black or whatever color you want to match your bike, kind of hide them a little better. But that's what we're going to do. Show you step by step real quick how to do it. Go ahead and on your fender. On mine I just have 4 bolts under here to take this whole thing off. Pop your seat off so that way you can access all your wires that are going to run through it. Alright guys, once you get this off, make sure you figure out which wires are what before you go ripping everything apart, and just get some tape and just mark them. Alright, now after you take the 4 bolts out here, you pull the whole thing off. The wires run through this hole right here from the inside. You undo them. I had a couple of dimples right here that I just cut with a razor blade to cut them off, so that way the bracket can sit up on these 2 holes. When you put them together, they look like this. You're going to use the original bolt hole here to mount it here. Okay, it's going to mount just like that. Your tag, you're going to use one of these holes for your tag, and also you got to drill out this other hole over here to house your light turn signals. And you can also run your turn signal light behind the plate up there. That's going to be what it's going to look like. And let me drill these holes. And if you want to go a step farther, you can always, if you have access to like a cutoff wheel, you can cut this, or a hacksaw, and you can shave it down a little bit more if you want, but it's really not needed. You're not going to see it. So, alright, so here they are. I painted them. However, I did, I've already had them on and off once because I was messing with it. But anyway, I just used some flat black paint. This is going to be your tail. Alright, this is going to be for your plate side, and this is going to be your side. Now, if you want to use the stock lights, you know, if you just don't want to buy any of the like little aftermarket lights that are, you know, only that big, little LEDs. If you don't want to go that route and deal with putting resistors or changing the relay to get the flash going, you can use this with this. It'll fit. Let me set this down. It'll fit right in there without any drilling whatsoever. So I am going to put it all together with the stock lights so you can see what it would look like if you don't want to change any. One of the next things you're going to need to do, this is a mock-up of my plate, my license plate. This is a piece of foam board that you can get at a local dollar store or CVS or Walgreens. It's $1. If you get an Elmer's board, I think it's like $2. But you don't use a piece of poster board. Get you something that's kind of rigid. You can use the back of a cereal box if you cut it out. I mean, all the license plates are a little bit different size, a little bit different holes. However, we're going to get it. You may have to drill your license plate to get the bolt holes to line up, depending on your bike model and everything else. Because you're not going to want to drill any holes in your bike, in the tail of your bike. We're trying to reuse as much existing holes as possible. License plate, who gives a shit? Drill 2 holes in it. If anything, it'll leave you 2 extra holes to mount your, if you want to do a LED light over your plate. Mine's going to be close enough to my tail light, I think, that I probably won't need a light over my plate. Plus, I don't do a whole lot of night riding, so I'm not too worried about it. So let me go ahead and put these on, and I'm going to show you what they look like on there. Alright, I got the lights mounted into the bracket. Just to kind of give you an idea of where I'm going with this and how it's going to hook up. You're going to use these two holes here for your plate. So it's going to kind of look like this. Okay. These two top holes back here are going to mount underneath the bike this way, underneath the tail of the bike like that. So that's how it's, and then these wires are going to shove. These wires are going to shove up through the bottom of it. I'm going to mount this on the bike so you can see. All right, I'm going to use this hole here and this hole here. If I wanted to bring the plate farther back, I could probably use these two holes, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to use these two smaller holes to keep my lights farther in and tucked underneath the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and mount those so you can see what it looks like. Alright, now I got the two mounted up there. Ran the wires through the little hole up here. Okay, and I don't have it super tight because I'm just doing this for the video. If you tighten it up and you still feel like you can move, don't worry about that, because when you put your plate on through these two holes here, it's going to hold everything together and keep it from moving whatsoever. You know, but I still would recommend the bottom bolts here. You're going to want to use some blue Loctite. So going on there, you can see where they're bolted in. Use those existing holes there. You know, I could use the ones farther back if you want to bring your taillights or your blinkers. If you want to bring your turn signals farther back down, if they're smaller and they'll fit, you can do that as well. Here's how it's going to kind of look. You know, much cleaner all the way around. Sorry about this. I got a light right here that I'm trying to make it so you can see real well. This is my plate that I showed you earlier. It's going to sit just like that. So that's what it would look like if you left your stock turn signals on there. Which, you know, isn't too bad. It's a hell of a lot better than the other one. And all you're going to have to do is line it up, mark two holes on it from the back side when you get it centered on there, and then go over to your then take this, after you mark these holes and cut them out, go over to your plate, mark the holes, drill two holes that'll fit the size of this, like 1/4 holes. I'm not sure what size the drill bit is that you'll need, but just take your license plate bolt, measure it, measure the hole. It's pretty simple. You can figure out the right drill bit to use. And then just mount your tag to it. And then don't forget, when you're done, go ahead and hook your lights back up. And make sure, before you ride, make sure you got your left working left and your right blinker working right blinker. If you marked them to start with, like I showed you in the beginning, then you shouldn't have any problems. Pretty easy, less than $10 to make it, you know, especially if you use your stock turn light or your stock turn signals. Like I said, you can get creative and down here get a piece of plexiglass, paint it black, trim it, cover it up, but still it beats paying $110 for Fender Eliminator kit. So it'll work on any damn bike. But yeah, give the video a thumbs up. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you already haven't. Should have a bunch of moto vlogs coming soon. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it.